On the evening of November 24th, 2009, John Jones and his younger brother, Josh, set out on what they anticipated to be an exhilarating adventure at the Nutty Putty cave in Utah County. This cave, a popular destination for both tourists and seasoned spelunkers, boasted a variety of well-known spots, such as the Big Room, the Maze, and the Big Slide. Despite the allure of these famous sections, John and Josh were drawn to the more challenging and less explored areas of the cave. Having bid farewell to John's wife, Emily, who was pregnant with their second child, and their young daughter, Lizzie, the brothers, along with 9 friends and acquaintances, made their way to the cave's entrance. Though none of them had ventured into this particular cave before, they were equipped with a map and shared stories from others who had. John, a medical student at the University of Virginia, had not been caving recently due to his busy schedule, but considered himself experienced. He and Josh had spent much of their youth exploring various caves in Utah. Nutty Putty Cave has only one entrance, measuring a mere 1.8 meters across. This meant that any passage navigated must be backtracked to exit. This structure necessitated careful planning and a good understanding of the cave's layout. Inexperienced cavers could easily become disoriented and trapped in the labyrinthine passages. Unfortunately, on this night, this very danger would manifest. The group entered the cave with high spirits. The initial areas they explored were spacious and accommodating. However, John and Josh, along with 2 friends, soon decided to seek out the more notorious parts of the cave, specifically the birth canal and the aorta crawl. These sections were infamous for their narrow and claustrophobic passages, which had trapped many cavers before. Despite these warnings, John's confidence and determination led the group onward. After navigating the Big Slide, a 45-degree descent into a larger room, the brothers and their friends split up to explore different paths. John and Josh chose a passage they believed led to the birth canal. However, John inadvertently took a wrong turn, leading them into an unfamiliar section known as Ed's Push. This passage was poorly documented and known for its complexity and dangerous narrowness. Ed's Push was a roller coaster of tight squeezes, twists, and turns, requiring cavers to maneuver their bodies in challenging ways. John, unaware of the exact path he was in, pressed forward, believing he was still on the right track. His journey led him to the Corkscrew, a perilous and notoriously tight area. 5 years earlier, a 16-year-old named Brock Clark got stuck in the same corkscrew section. At 5'7" inches and 140 pounds, he became wedged when he tried to turn around, and rescuers took 14 hours to free him. John now found himself in the exact spot where Brock had been trapped, attempting to turn around. At 6 feet tall and 200 pounds, John knew that turning around here was impossible. He was in a 12-inch high space with no room to maneuver his body. John decided to push forward to a ledge area, squeezing over the top of it. The space was tight, but he believed he could see it open up ahead. He sucked in his stomach and pulled himself forward on the rocks, moving headfirst downwards, hoping there was an area ahead where he could turn around. Unbeknownst to John, no one had ever crossed this ledge before, and he was in uncharted territory. Despite the tight and uncomfortable position, John remained calm, convinced there was an opening ahead. He thought he was still in the birth canal, a part of the cave where many cavers had felt stuck but eventually found their way through. After passing through a tight zone, he began to slide toward the bottom of the tunnel, nearly doing a handstand as he tried to hold himself up and figure out how to push backward. He couldn't turn and was now upside down, with gravity pulling his 200-pound body against his weakening arms. John yelled out to his brother Josh, telling him not to follow but to go back out. They discussed his options and decided that moving forward to find a spot to turn around was the best idea. John was collapsing onto his shoulders and head and needed to make a move to get out of the vertical position. His headlamp showed a hole in the floor ahead that might lead to a larger space, giving him a bit of hope. Exactly how John ended up in this tunnel hole remains a mystery. He might have slipped, hit his head, and become wedged in the tight space. Another possibility is that he misjudged the hole, thinking it was an opening rather than a dead-end fissure. Regardless, John found himself in a small, impossibly narrow opening at the bottom of the tunnel, only 18 inches by 10 inches. Nearly upside down at a 70 degrees angle, John tried to push himself back up, but it was exhausting. His arms were in useless positions, one folded under his chest and the other trapped by his side. He strained against the walls, quickly realizing that all his efforts couldn't move him back up the 5 feet to the shallow tunnel. While his calves and feet were still free up in the passage, his legs were now wedged in the narrowest part of the hole, only 8 inches wide. He started yelling for Josh again. Knowing that John was trying to turn around, his brother recognized that his yells were not a good sign. Josh quickly made his way to his brother. Josh found John in a dire situation, trapped nearly upside down at a 70-degree angle. John's position was not only uncomfortable but life-threatening, as being upside down for extended periods can lead to severe physical complications. Josh tried to pull John free, but his efforts were futile. Recognizing the severity of the situation, Josh made the difficult decision to leave John and seek professional help. Meanwhile, friends and family members gathered near John to offer comfort and support. Time was of the essence, as John's condition worsened with each passing minute. For several hours, John remained trapped upside down, concentrating on the arduous task of breathing. The fissure compressed his chest, permitting only shallow breaths. Every attempt he made to move upward only caused him to settle deeper into the crevice. As time passed, gravity relentlessly pulled him against the rough walls of the tunnel, tightening its hold on his exhausted body. After the rescue team arrived, the first rescuer to arrive was Susie Matola, who had experience with the cave's tricky passages. She tied a rope around her ankle as a precaution and navigated her way to John. Despite her best efforts, the rope experienced too much friction due to the passage's complexity, making it impossible to pull John out. Susie realized that a more advanced pulley system would be necessary. As more rescuers arrived, a team of 20 worked tirelessly to devise a plan. They faced numerous challenges, including the cave's distance from the entrance, the narrow corkscrew passage, and the hard limestone that made installing hooks for the pulley system difficult. Additionally, John's position in the cave made it nearly impossible to use conventional rescue techniques. Throughout the night, rescuers communicated with John to keep his spirits up. John, a devout Christian, found solace in prayer during this harrowing ordeal. However, his physical condition continued to deteriorate. The human body is not designed to be upside down for long periods, and John's organs began to suffer from the unnatural position. As the pulley system was finally prepared, rescuers made one last attempt to free John. 8 people worked together to pull him out, but John's legs, which had become completely numb and blue from lack of circulation, hit the ceiling of the passage. The pain was excruciating, and John's condition worsened rapidly. In a final effort, rescuers considered breaking John's legs to facilitate the pull, but medical experts warned that this could lead to shock and cardiac arrest. Despite their best efforts, John remained trapped. At 11:56 p.m. on November 25th, after 27 hours upside down, John was pronounced dead. His body had succumbed to the physical stresses of his position. The tragic death of John Jones led to significant changes regarding the Nutty Putty cave. Officials sealed Ed's push entrance and later closed the entire cave system with concrete, ensuring no one else would suffer the same fate. A plaque was placed to commemorate John's memory, marking the spot where his adventurous spirit and love for caving met a tragic end. This incident serves as a stark reminder of the dangers of caving and the importance of thorough preparation and caution. John Jones's story is a testament to the bravery and determination of both the cavers who explore these underground worlds and the rescuers who risk their lives to save them. The Nutty Putty Cave, once a site of exploration and adventure, now stands as a somber monument to John Jones and the ultimate sacrifice he made in pursuit of his passion. Subscribe our channel if you liked our content. With that being said, I'll see you for the next one.